Thanks for tuning in to our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon Associates business for sale in the technology niche. Created in January 2016, this business makes $3,120 per month in net profit, and the listing number for this business is 40916. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the sites they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Thanks for coming on, Frank.
Yes, I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you here, man. Before we start going into the questions here, let's just to give a quick summary of the business. As I mentioned, it was built in January 2016, has a monthly revenue of $3,227, with expenses sitting at $107. For that total net profit of $3,120. Now that is over a 6-month average, and with the sale, it's included with the domain, obviously, and all the relatable content and social media pages. So, with all that being said, Frank, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, so I got started early. I would say in the middle of 2015 is when I started to learn more about SEO and building niche sites in general. At that time, I actually built my first site. And the first site didn't do as well. It was in a really crowded niche. I didn't really know much about how, everything worked. I didn't know much about SEO in general. I just wanted to, get in the game. So I ended up just really running, and I didn't do any research at all. And it ended up, failing. Usually that's what happens when you don't do anything, any research at all. But it was a great experience. I mean, it took me I was working on it for about 4 months. I had about 30 posts on the site at that point because I was going really hard on it. They were all about 2,000 plus words a piece, but it was a great learning experience. And I ended up using that, kind of to catapult myself. I could have stopped, I could have given up and said, this is difficult. I don't want to do this anymore. But I use that as kind of like a propeller to work on this current site that I have now that's, I'm currently in the process of selling.
That's great. Yeah, definitely. Our first websites typically aren't the best. So
yeah.
I certainly remember early experiences with mine where I got to the first page of Google. This is back when exact match domains were all the rage, and I thought there was going to be 30,000 search volume on it. But it was back when Google still did phrase match and exact match on the Google keyword tool. And so I did a broad match with my research, and then I did the exact match on the keyword. Is 3,000, or no, I think it was 500 people searched for that exact match keyword. I'm no. But yeah, so I can relate to that.
That's cool, man. I never got into the part where everything was a lot easier or whatever. But I mean, I think right now it's still a great opportunity, and
yeah, it's awesome.
Definitely.
So how did you come up with the idea for this website? Now, obviously, don't give away the domain or the niche, but was it just through competitor research? Was it something you were already interested in? How did that look like?
Yeah, so I definitely had an interest beforehand, but I didn't necessarily know that it was going to be such a profitable niche beforehand. I did some research on some things. I had talked to some friends about it who were also, in forums and stuff. And I ended up I started to search volume for it. And before I knew it, I started seeing a lot of profitable keywords that didn't seem to have a lot of competition. So then at that point, I saw it. I was like, okay, this looks like an opportunity. So I took it. That's really what happened.
That's great, man. So with that said, for someone looking at this business, and maybe they're not super familiar with Amazon's Associates program, and maybe they're looking at this business as kind of their first online business acquisition, could you just briefly describe, maybe in a couple sentences, how this business makes money?
Oh, yeah. So it's very, very simple. All I really do is I rank on Google, the search engine. And when someone searches for a particular phrase, when they click on it, they come to my site, and I have buying guides. I have, just guides in general. And then I refer them to Amazon. And if they make any purchases in the next 24 hours, I get a commission off it, depending on, it doesn't matter whether or not it's anything related to my site or anything in general. I get a commission off of that. So, I mean, it's a very simple process.
Yeah, it's a great program for sure, and Amazon's obviously a very trusted brand in the e-commerce space, so the conversions tend to be pretty good as well. So now with these sites, once they're up and going and you're getting traffic and you're making money from them, they tend to be fairly hands-off. Why are you selling the business? Why not just keep it and keep growing the business?
Yeah, so the reason that I'm selling the site is really because the reason why I started SEO in general was because I wanted to get into paid affiliate marketing. And now that I've been actually doing it for the last few months, I'm getting profitable. and I need, cash flow. And selling this business would, give me the cash flow that I need to really start to scale some of my campaigns on that front.
So you want to go more hardcore into paid affiliate marketing, like
Yes,
CPA
yes.
offers and stuff like that,
hmm
or?
Yeah, I've been doing that for the last few months, and I'm finding some profit there. And I want to start, I need cash flow to properly scale.
Right, of course. In order to scale, you definitely need the money for it, with paid stuff for sure. That's a very good reason. So you're after the sale, you're going to put that into your campaigns to scale. But back to the business, when you first started this business, what was the trajectory of it? Did you find once the website was live and the content was on that you started getting clients, or not clients, but customers right away, or did it take a while to build up that traffic?
Yeah, so it took about 3 months before I saw any like significant revenue, but I just kept. I don't know why. I just had like a lot of faith in it. I just started putting up, high quality content. That was my whole premise. I saw that a lot of the other people in my niche weren't really hitting the quality wasn't as good as what I was putting out on the keywords that I was targeting. So I really just focused on that, making my main cornerstone content. I would try to get that over 4,000 words each time, and before I knew it, once like about 4 months in, 5 months in, it started to explode almost. Like if you look at the, the graph on the site for my listing, you'll see how quickly it scales up after a while.
That's awesome. 4,000 words is a good chunk of content for sure. When it comes to what you've learned about this business, would you say there's anything that stands out that just worked really well for you? Maybe something you'll apply to your future sites and businesses?
Yeah, so what I found that works the best for me is really just putting in the work and also competitor research also, but mostly for me it was just finding an opportunity and taking it. I think is really the biggest one. So if you see like a keyword that's not really being targeted by competitors and you check it and it has search volume, what you do is you attack that keyword. That's helped me a lot, and that's gotten me a lot of high value keywords that my competitors aren't even targeting whatsoever. I would just literally post something up there. I'd write a really in-depth post buying guide about it. And before I knew it, I'd come back in a month and check, and it'd be, ranking on the number one spot or number two spot for that keyword. And that was really it for me.
Very cool. When it comes to content, it sounds like you invested pretty heavily in content. Are you writing all of this yourself?
Yeah, so in the beginning, I was writing all of it myself, and I still do write a good deal for myself. But now I also have a content writer. The content writer, he's really eager to write content. He really wants, he wants me to give him more content to write. But right now, I'm not even scaling like that. So I'm cutting back a little bit. He's pretty cheap. He's only like the reason why my costs are so low is because of how affordable he is. He's like 0.008 cents per word,
Oh,
which is
wow.
rather, which is a really good deal. I don't know how I found him. I got really lucky with that.
Is he
He's a really
native
good writer,
English,
actually.
or
Hmm?
is he a native English writer, speaker rather? Like,
He says he is. I don't. I
he
don't think he.
says he is.
I was like, I don't think so. I was like, I don't know any American who work for these terms. But it's content. I mean, like all like to me, it's all about the content. Is the content
Right.
decent? Does it rank? And yes, it does. So it works perfectly for me.
Oh, that's an amazing rate right there, especially if he's a good writer. So, are you also using any kind of backlinking strategies in particular?
Yeah. So backlinking strategies aren't really the thing that I've been focusing on. I really just post high quality content on the site. I have done a few things, a few services to build backlinks on the back end, like just kind of like, diversity packages on the site, which did help us out a bit. But that was about 7 to 8 months ago.
Is that where the PBN factor comes in? Was from
Yeah, that's
buying
where
the
the PBS factor
services?
comes in. I mean, like it was, but I didn't really, I wasn't trying to be spammy or whatever. I was just
Right,
testing
right.
something out. But at the same time, I did want to disclose that 100% before anyone
Yeah,
would buy it because I
of
think that's
course.
very important to know.
So that's interesting. You bought a few service packages, and other than that, it's just been all content creation for
Yeah,
you
it's just been
mostly.
all content creation. I mean, like I don't have like an active, like I guess like an active PBN on the site or whatever. It's more really just built. Like I got one guy to do a few things for me, like build some directories or whatever. That's all he did, and do some social media boosts to see if that would help, and that's really all.
Did the social media boost help? Did you see any significant growth from that?
You see that's
Uh,
the thing. I don't really, I don't think so.
it's hard to see what is actually working when you're doing a bunch of stuff in the SEO world. It's a fine art for sure.
It really is. It really is. If I was staying in the field, I would definitely, need to really learn more about that. But I mean, that is an opportunity. I mean, I haven't really built many backlinks. So if you could build backlinks, a lot of the keywords that I've targeted, the bigger ones are way harder to rank for me.
Yeah.
And those keywords are the ones that I know people who are doing like in the niche are doing like 15, 20K a month for their site doing with
Oh,
those kind of
wow.
big keywords. Yeah, they're big guys. It's crazy.
Is there anything you did with the site that just didn't work? Anything that you kind of wish you hadn't done?
Not really.
That's
Everything that I've
good.
done with the site, I mean, like I can't say like I did a few months back. I did update the design, but that really was great. It really boosted my conversion rate.
It sounds like all the stuff that you wish you had done was with the first website.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing with that first. I mean, I'll even disclose it since it doesn't matter anymore. It was a phone website. I was trying to compete with like CNET, CNET and all Tech
Oh
Radar.
yeah.
I was like, man, this isn't a good idea.
Targets. Easy targets.
And then I couldn't like, even get into any of the affiliate programs. So I was trying to like get into Verizon's affiliate program, and then I was looking at it, and they're like, yeah, you need like a $500,000 net worth to even get in here.
Damn.
So I could only even get into T-Mobile. I was like, yeah, this is, and then or I could like sell unlocked phones, and I was like, yeah, okay, no, no, no one buys their phone unlocked anymore, not that I know of. So it was like,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I'm gonna move on.
So is all the traffic for this site purely just Google organic?
Yep, it's just all Google organic.
When it comes to how stable the earnings are, do you see any kind of seasonality with this product, or is it pretty even throughout the year?
Yeah, it seems pretty even, but as I see some things, I do see a few like this niche does have a huge student body audience. So students are a huge part of it. So I'm seeing like some interesting things going on as the profits are still really good, but I am seeing, I think, people are like I'm getting more traffic, but I'm not getting, I guess, as many sales right now just because, students are, they're doing finals and a bunch of other stuff
Yeah.
which is something that I am seeing in the niche. So I would like to disclose that, but it's not like, anything horrible, but it is something to be noticeable. That's noticeable.
That makes sense. That is quite interesting. So how much content is on the site right now? You mentioned your first site
Yeah.
ended up having 30 pieces or so. How many pieces are on this one? Do you know?
Yeah, I know exactly. It's 56 posts on this site, but this site, like, as I moved, the later I got, like, the more posts that I've done, and like, they're getting really long now. I'm starting to target bigger keywords. I actually just finished a post today. The post was 10,000 words. So,
Wow, nice.
yeah, yeah. So I'm targeting the bigger keywords right now for the potential buyer. I was like, you know what, I really want to hand this baton off correctly. If I do, when I do hand it off. So I'm trying to target bigger keywords and keywords that, that I know are new and are emerging and even older keywords and seeing like, so if someone does build backlink to this post, it should rank, or if someone does anything with this post, it should be able to rank. I mean, like that's what I was trying to do. So I've been like publishing some bigger posts on like that. So
That's great, man. Those long posts definitely pick up a lot
they
of
work
keywords.
a lot. Yeah.
My site, doubt,
I have
go long.
56. I go long all the time. That's my main strategy right now. That's why I'm ranking, even though I don't backlink build all the time. I think I have like 56 posts, but I know I rank for like over 10,000 keywords.
That's awesome. That's great.
I rank for a lot of keywords, which is why which is good because it kind of spreads out the risk.
Definitely. How often are you adding content like on a monthly basis?
Yeah, so the content creation has slowed down a little bit in the last month. I only posted about one post, really, one big post. That was a 10,000 word post I posted. I do have a few more posts coming out in the next few days, or if someone did acquire the business beforehand, I would definitely give that to them.
So when you were cranking out more content, was there like an editorial calendar you followed, or how did that look like?
So what I was doing was I was posting bi-weekly usually. Well, in the beginning stages, I was definitely doing a lot higher. I was posting like almost twice a week, 3 times, a week if I had to, just trying to get content up as quickly as possible. But as things slowed down and like about 4 or 5 months ago, I started to get into paid. I really been following a strategy as to where I update my posts a lot because this is a tech niche. And if you don't update your stuff every once in a while, things will fall, keywords will drop. So that is, I guess, a risk.
That's interesting to know, yeah. Speaking of risk, before we dive too into risk, let's pretend you wanted to keep the business and grow it. What would you focus on that you would consider the least risky path to grow the business?
So if I had to figure out a way to kind of grow and attack the niche, I would definitely first of all, the least risky way to do it would be to just focus on long tail keywords. One of the biggest pros of this niche or whatever is the fact that even though a lot of keywords aren't will fall off if you don't update them every month, every few 3 to 4 months or whatever. That's what I usually do. Only my top ones. The same thing goes that there are so many emerging keywords and long tail keywords coming out that there's always going to be opportunity to grow the site.
Yeah, definitely. New technology, new products to write about.
This really is not a stagnant niche at all. It's a very, very progressive niche, and you will always have something to attack.
So you'd focus on just more content creation, basically. Is that correct?
I would also do a lot more split testing on the site. In particular, I would redesign it. I would add a few things. Maybe I would definitely do email building. That's for sure. I mean, I have no email list building going on right now, which is definitely a huge hole in the business, considering that it's doing about a good amount of people are coming in every day.
Right.
Yeah, and I feel like if I was going to do email building, the way that I would do it is I would probably have like a weekly updated like niche deals page kind of in a way, as to where like this niche has a lot, like people love deals, and I feel like that would do very well if you had like a one specific page, just like, like the site slash bills, I mean deals. And I feel like that'd do very well and would, gain a lot of traction, and that would also boost, revenues for the site.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good idea. Is there anything you would do differently if you were incredibly risky, just kind of threw caution to the wind and wanted to grow the site as quickly as possible?
Yeah, okay. So if I was trying to
Yes.
really play it, I would definitely start doing some real link building. Like if I wasn't selling, I would probably build like a pro. I would try my best. I would learn everything possible about link building. I would hire a VA because I'm not trying to invest super like a lot of time into it. Like if you're not trying to do that like 20, 30 hours a day, you need to hire someone to at least post it for you. Maybe hire two VAs if you're trying to grow it enough. I
Right.
would definitely hire a few more writers. I would probably try to post twice a week because there's so much, like I said, there's so many things you can post about in the niche that I mean, like, I really feel like you could do that for a bit. I have like a lot of keywords already saved up. So if someone did, acquire the site, I would give that to them too as well, so that they can instantly start targeting those keywords. That would be my strategy. I would really there's so many different keywords that I would really just try to double down, make high quality content, to attack the bigger keywords for sure that have a huge volume with link building, guest posting if you want to do that way, or whatever you want to do the other way, more black hat way, you could go the other route. It doesn't matter. But
Yeah. So you focus more on link building, so it's like aggressive link building.
aggressive link building and, plus content creation. I would definitely target a lot more long tail keywords, just, to build the base up. But then I would definitely, start shooting those arrows at the top keywords as well that are, making people a lot of money.
Absolutely. I think that's a great strategy. Speaking of risk, though, what do you think the biggest risk is to a site like this that buyers should be aware of?
Yeah. So, I mean, the biggest risk, as I said earlier, is only out of date content. That's really the only thing that you could ever have to worry about. I feel, other than competitors. Competitors are always going to be, something you have to worry about. This niche isn't as competitive as phones, but it still is I would say, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this niche maybe like a 5.5, I guess, in competitive scale, maybe 5.5.
Net worth of 300,000 to join the affiliate program.
No, okay, maybe like let's drop it to a 2. Yeah, I mean, it's free to join the affiliate program, thank God. But or I'd be out of business real quick. I'd be like, okay, that's not gonna work. But yeah, the only major issue would be out of date content. And what I mean by out of date content is really just the posts that are kind of, they're not old yet, but if you see like I would probably also get like a keyword service to track this stuff. But if you see like one of your bigger posts, like I always track my best posts. So if I see like one of my bigger posts starting to drop a little bit, I will update it, or I'll try to update my top post, especially the top post. I'll update it like at least. I'll try to update it once a month. And what I mean by updating is really simple stuff. It's just going on the page, finding one or two things that might be kind of outdated now after like maybe 2 or 3 months for a post, and I might make like one change, which might take me like 30 minutes to an hour. So it's not like a lot of work, but it sends signals to Google that you're still working on the site, or you're still working on the post, and that they need to keep it up because it's still current.
Yeah, that's great.
That's really it.
There's a strategy too where they'll do like best XYZ in 2017 for the money, things like that, and you do the URL structure right. You just go in there and change 2017 to 2018, 2019.
Yeah, easy. It works 100%. It's perfect.
Yeah, definitely. What kind of work are you currently doing to maintain the business on like a weekly or monthly basis?
Yeah, so it's very simple. I mean, the work I'm doing is really day to day. If I see any comments, I answer them, which might take me like 20 minutes, to answer comments. Weekly, I'll provide my freelancer with writing tasks usually. Bi-weekly, I try to publish a post. As I told you, that it has been a little bit slower than I'd like, but the post that I did publish was like 10,000 words, so I would say that's not a bad post.
Yeah, definitely.
And monthly, I would just try to, maybe pick one or two things to update. Or maybe if you see like, if you feel like updating a lot of things, you can do that too. Just make sure it stays current. Make sure your top posts that are generating the most traffic stay, competitive compared to like the landscape. Maybe I would just do like, I would update a post or two of like a top post I'd update at least once every 2 months.
Is there any skills you'd suggest for a buyer to have before they purchase a website like this?
The only skill that you really need is, I guess, basic WordPress knowledge would be one. Also, maybe know a little bit on how SEO kind of works. And also, it's not like very difficult. Once you get it, I mean, like I could probably teach most of the stuff to the person, once they got it. I mean, the only thing, willingness to learn really. So if you do ever get it, you need help figuring out what to do. on like how this whole site works and how the niche works and how some of the stuff on the niche, like, like how the products work or whatever, just tell me. And if you message me, I would, 100% help you with that as soon as I could.
Would you be willing to commit to a non-compete?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I understand people don't want, other people coming in. Once you go out, I'm done.
How much support would you be willing to offer that buyer?
Yeah, I would be willing to get on a Skype call with them if they wanted me to, or, email support as well.
Excellent. So obviously the best case scenario here for you and for Empire Flippers is someone comes in and buys the business for full list price. But with that said, would you at all be open to like a split or earn out, say 80% down and then maybe 20% over a period of a few months or whatever the earn out could be, anything like that?
Yeah, I'm 100% up for that. I wouldn't be like adverse to it at all.
Excellent. Obviously those are very, case by case basis.
Case by case, yeah, definitely.
So it's a hard question to answer because you never know what you're going to get. But before I ask you my final question, Frank, just to give a quick summary of the business for everyone listening in. This business was built in January 2016, has a monthly revenue of $3,227, with expenses sitting at $107 for the net profit of $3,120. That is over a 6-month average, and included in the sale is the domain and all the relatable content and social media pages. So my final question for you, Frank, is what is your best pitch in 30 seconds or less on why someone should purchase this business?
Okay. So yeah, if you're
No stress.
no stress, yeah. If you're looking for a site that has like a good base, that is ranking for already like a lot of keywords, doesn't have like a lot of, I guess, risks kind of in a few keywords, like, like a lot of sites have, this would be definitely a good site for that. If you're looking for a site that has a lot of, I guess, potential to grow, I mean, a lot of keywords to target and a lot of room for growth in general, this is a great site for that as well. There's nothing like very complex about the site. There's nothing like that would, throw you off. So if you're a beginner, I guess just getting into sites and acquisitions, this would definitely be good for you.
Yeah, definitely. Amazon affiliate in general tends to be one of the better businesses to buy for someone brand new, at least brand new to online business, right? So they're brand new to buying businesses and brand new to online business. Amazon affiliate is definitely a good choice to start off with to get your feet a little wet. So with that said, for those out there, if you're watching this on YouTube and you want more information, the link will be below this video that would take you to the marketplace listing. Now, if you're watching this on the actual listing page and you want more information, you can become a depositor today. It's super easy. All you have to do is click the button, make a deposit, and you'll be given everything you need to review this business. So Frank, thank you so much for coming on, man. It was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited to be a part of this, and I hope that everything works out perfectly here.